Caudicle. I tend to finish Sheffields on a caudicle. I think you get a nice, smooth, comfortable shave from Sheffield Wedge with caudicle. Do a quick finish on it. Now, one thing I do is when I'm using tape, which is on just about every razor, when I go to the finish stone, I don't care what stone it is, and I don't even look to see if the tape has wear on it or not. When I go to the finish stone, I always retape. I want a fresh piece of tape when I do the finish, so I get the best angle, everything. In other words, I'm trying to make sure it's perfect. When I go to the finish, I want everything perfect. Nice smooth tape. Okay, now we got a little bit of slurry on the caudicle. I'm going to do the pigtail stroke. You've seen it before. You go around and down. Okay, around and down. And I will do probably 20. I actually kind of think of this in my mind with starting in natural after I walked up through synthetics is training the razor to the stone. In other words, I'm adjusting the razor's bevel and edge to this natural stone, and I'll do this on every natural stone. You don't have to. It's just another habit that I've gotten into. But it seems to me anyway, I think it works better this way, but you can decide that for yourself. But I always start a natural stone with a little bit of slurry and a couple of these pigtail strokes. Credit going to that English barber Liam, who did a video and showed us all this stroke. It really is great for working slurries. You guys that use the Japanese hones that like to work a slurry, you can add an extra circle at the end like that, and that really works the slurry down. It's a great stroke for the Japanese. But for a caudicle, you don't need to do that. You're just gathering up the slurry and bringing it down the stone, just like that. Like I said, I do about 20 of those, so I can feel that it's nice and even. Then we're going to start diluting. I'm going to go the long strokes, super light pressure now. There's nothing, just barely any pressure on the blade at all. I can see that it's undercutting perfectly. I'm going to go the swooping strokes. Super light, just bringing it barely down, super light. A few more of the long strokes. Notice I just keep dipping and diluting. You can count drops, you can do all that all you want. If you're working next to a well of water like the sink, I just dip and drag that water across the hone by scooping it up on the side of the blade. Be careful when you start doing that though. When you first start at that, it is very easy to bang the razor into something. Like the faucet, the edge of the stone. You can bang the razor into all kinds of things when you start doing that. It's not a good thing to clip the faucet after you've been working on a razor for 15-20 minutes. Okay, let's finish this puppy off. Just kind of doing X strokes and a little bit of swoop at the end. It's a nice finishing caudicle here. I get about 5 strokes or so, and then I'll scoop water. I want to, if I'm finishing on a conical, any natural stone, I don't want any slurry working itself up into it. I don't want to limit my stroke or my edge. I want a very, very sharp, smooth edge. Okay, guess what? At this point in time, this razor is actually done. It will pop hair, and I say that with the utmost confidence because I've felt it all the way along there. But it will pop hair on the arm in a heartbeat. Just needs to be stropped and then test shaved. That is one way to do a smiling wedge using a 45-degree heel forward stroke. I hope that helped a little bit. You can combine that with the rolling axe. You can kind of put them together. Just remember, the spine stays on the hone all the way through while honing any type of razor. Leave the spine on the hone. Okay, thanks again. It's gssixgun from SRP. All the rest of the shave forums. Thanks for watching. See you later.